go Jags on 3. 1, 2, 3. Jags! Yeah,
Veteran linebacker Paul Posluszny breaking the team down at the end of the mandatory minicamp, and then the Jaguars signed autographs and greeted fans on the final day of work for the offseason program on the Florida Blue practice fields. And welcome to Inside the Jaguars. JP Shadrick with you. The Jaguars wrapped up the offseason program on Thursday, the final day of work on these Florida Blue practice fields. And after working full the last few weeks at OTAs and minicamp, head coach Gus Bradley shortened things up for the final day. No helmets Thursday, and they spent a little less than an hour on the field. Now, with all the work done, the Jags are happy with where they are at the end of this very important offseason program.
We've had a really good offseason, 61 days here at practice through OTAs and minicamp, and felt like they really competed. And then, come in, they, really focus on these next 6 weeks and get the most out of that, so we come back in the best shape that we ever have been.
It's not like we take time off like it's right after season. We just take, get away from the stadium, get away that way, but we're still training hard and staying in shape. None of us want to lose anything. We want to be in the best shapes we've ever been for training camp and for this season.
Some other notes from Thursday: a crowd of around 1,200 attended practice, and the last chance to see the Jaguars before training camp. And speaking of training camp, the Jags report on July 30th, and they're on the field for the first practice July 31st. Now, with the offseason program complete, it's time to look forward to the 2015 season with senior correspondent Brian Sexton.
The Jaguars look like a team that can win as many games as they lose. That's an expert's way of saying they look like they're 8-8. Going way out on a limb, aren't I? Well, actually, I could be. After all, we're talking about a second-year quarterback who threw 17 interceptions last season, 14 in his first 8 starts. Though over the final 6, he only threw 3. They have 3 second-year receivers, but only undrafted Allen Hurns managed to stay on the field last season. Though the trio did finish among the top 15 rookie receivers last year, and Allen Robinson has been sensational in OTAs. Don't forget, the offensive line was a major liability last season. Though they lost their line coach to cancer treatment and started 2 rookies, and Luke Joeckel only had 4 games of experience from his rookie campaign. They did struggle, though, to move the chains and stay on the field and to score in the red zone, but then again, Julius Thomas changes that, and his presence pushes Mercedes Lewis. The defense did need help getting after the passer, and everyone was excited about Dante Fowler, but they lost him in the first hour of the first practice of rookie camp, though they had 44 sacks last season and added talent and depth. The Jaguars bit the bullet last season and went as young as any team I've ever covered or even seen. The payoff is this year, as players like Blake Bortles, Allen Robinson, Brandon Linder, Aaron Colvin, and Telvin Smith combined with a strong free agent class and a very good draft class, despite not having Fowler, and a new offensive system should push the Jags towards 8-8. I'm not certain if anyone else thinks that's a winning year, but for a team that hasn't had a winning record since 2007, 8-8 might feel like the playoffs around here.
And yes, that certainly would be an improvement. Thank you, Brian. The Jaguars are back on the field for training camp at the end of July. Stay tuned here on Jaguars.com throughout the next few weeks for some exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. That's it for today on Inside the Jaguars, presented by FanDuel.